a modern monarchy. Well, a modern monarchy can't include Prince Archie, Princess Lilibet. They've got to remove the titles. They've got to constrain it, and that really is what Harry rightly fears, that he will just be Mr. Harry Windsor. That I always thought that when William became king, he'd just banish Harry, but I think he'll banish them both and take their titles away. And now Harry might even wonder, will he take the prince title away, just to make absolutely sure there's no connection with the royal family and also his children. The Montecito couple are potentially a grave threat to the British monarchy, which altogether.
Tom Bower dives deep into what he calls Prince Harry's most haunting fear, a fear that relentlessly prowls his mind every single day and robs him of the peace he desperately craves. This isn't some passing worry or a fleeting unease. It's a persistent nightmare that seems to shadow Harry's every move, keeping him awake long into the night. And Bower doesn't mince words or hold back a single detail. According to him, this nightmare didn't just suddenly materialize out of nowhere, no. It took shape long ago, at a pivotal moment in Harry's life. It all began the instant Harry fully grasped the reality that his older brother, Prince William, was destined not just to be king, but the future head of the monarchy. That realization hit Harry like a tidal wave, a moment charged with both acceptance and dread. From that point on, Harry started to understand just how precarious his own position could be, how everything he valued or thought he might have could eventually slip away, simply because William's path to the throne left little room or interest for him in the grand scheme. The stakes shifted dramatically, and according to Bower, Harry's nightmare was born from that very realization, a nightmare that haunts him to this very day.
Bomb ticking. Once the king departs, I think the new king, Prince William, he wants to slim down and clean up the monarchy.
Trying to find a way to bring Harry back into the heart of the royal family feels like navigating an impossible maze, especially after everything that has transpired between him and the other members. There's an overwhelming tension beneath the surface, Harry's deep worry about losing the influence he once held within the monarchy. Ever since his relationship with Prince William became distant, Harry has felt the rift widen. William, steadfast in his vision for the future, has consistently communicated a clear message. He supports a monarchy that is slimmed down, streamlined, and focused only on a few key players. In this leaner royal framework, there simply isn't a place for Harry to return as a working royal, the implication being that there's no role for him to contribute officially or carry out royal duties. This realization weighs heavily on Harry's mind, gnawing at him in quiet moments. The possibility of being permanently sidelined, seen more as an outsider than an active member, is a source of constant unease. The idea of losing not just status, but the chance to serve and influence royal decisions unsettles him deeply. But despite this uncertainty and the growing distance, Harry and Meghan continue to identify themselves as members of the royal family, and that identity is anchored by one crucial factor: their titles.
Harry's biggest fear is that he's about to become irrelevant as soon as Prince George hits 18. He's got a limited window to be relevant at all. He's not worried about press. He's worried about fading out as an irrelevant royal. He loves it, she loves it. They just don't like the bad stuff. Well, guess what? It's called being a public figure. Grow up and deal with it.
As long as they hold the titles that link them to the monarchy, they maintain a tangible connection to their heritage and status, even while charting their own path outside the traditional royal framework. This delicate balance is where their story remains suspended, caught between legacy and reinvention. Titles hold immense significance for Harry, and right now, one of his deepest, most persistent fears revolves around the possibility of losing those royal honors. This anxiety isn't just a fleeting thought, it's an ever-present shadow that follows him throughout his days, quietly gnawing at his peace of mind. The idea that one day he might be stripped of his princely status, transformed from a globally recognized member of the royal family into just another private individual, feels like an overwhelming nightmare. Imagine a future where the name Prince Harry fades into something far more ordinary, simply Mr. Harry Windsor. The weight of that potential change is staggering. It threatens not only his identity, but also the unique privileges, responsibilities, and connections intrinsically tied to his royal title. But it's not just Harry who worries about this uncertain future. His concerns extend deeply to Archie and Lilibet.
Now, Prince Harry is reportedly very sad that Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet are missing out on life with the rest of their family, and that the extensive family network that their cousins are enjoying, well, his children aren't. I don't know what this spoilt brat expects. What did he expect when he uprooted his family and went to live in Montecito, and constantly slams the royal family? I don't think he realises how daft he really is. And I mean, he is very daft. If you've read Spare, the guy is like low IQ. Like, he's not the sharpest tool in the shed.
He's haunted by questions about what their futures hold and whether the delicate matter of royal titles might bring complications or challenges for his children down the line. Could their place within the royal framework shift? Would their titles someday be questioned or even withdrawn? These fears touch on something far more profound: the desire to protect his family's legacy and ensure they are seen and treated with the respect their heritage deserves. The weight of these worries is a constant, simmering under the surface, making Harry's connection to his titles not just a matter of status, but a deeply personal struggle about identity, security, and family. Looking ahead, Harry clearly recognizes a crucial truth. Without their royal ties, much of what has made the Sussex brand so unique and influential could start to unravel. Their titles aren't just honorifics, they're powerful magnets that draw public attention, open influential doors, and lend important credibility to nearly all their ventures and initiatives. In essence, the royal connection gives weight and legitimacy to their voices on a global scale. Without this backing, Harry and Meghan risk losing the trust and resonance they've worked so hard to build.
And also the pressure he's under from William, who does not want to inherit a mess. He wants the stables cleaned.
Every day that passes without mending fences makes the bridge back seem even more unstable and distant. While Harry still might hold on to hope that King Charles could someday extend a hand in forgiveness, a chance to heal the wounds and restore some measure of unity, there's a deeper layer of uncertainty that weighs heavily on him. According to royal commentator Tom Bower, it's actually Prince William who represents Harry's biggest obstacle. The fear is that William's stance might be far more rigid, far less open to reconciliation, casting a long shadow over any attempts to rebuild the fractured bonds. This growing tension adds a complex emotional dimension to Harry's journey, making the possibility of peace feel all the more elusive. The heart of the matter is trust, or rather, the shocking collapse of it within the palace walls. Imagine inheriting a kingdom that's more chaos than order, a tangled mess no one truly wishes to take charge of. Nobody wants to step into a storm without a clear path forward. What the palace really craves is stability, a chance to clean up the stables, which in this case means fixing the deep-rooted issues from the inside out. It's not just about pride or protocol, it's fundamentally about trust.
Is actually a matter of a breakdown of trust. The point about Harry was, can we trust him? And because of all the briefing and the reversals and all the somersaults, what they're really saying is, we cannot deal with this man. We don't trust the fifth in line of succession. Well, if that doesn't cast him into the wilderness, he'll notice in a few days how it will.
When it comes to Prince Harry, the question haunting the palace corridors is simple but devastating. Can we really rely on him? All the back and forth, the changing stories, the sudden shifts and unexpected turns have done more damage than any headline ever could. The cumulative effect is blunt and unmistakable. This man, who stands fifth in line to the throne, is someone the palace simply cannot manage or accommodate anymore. They don't just doubt his intentions, they doubt his reliability, his predictability, his loyalty. And in the world of royal succession, where every move is scrutinized and trust is the currency of survival, that's a crushing verdict. If being sidelined means being cast into the cold wilderness of royal exile, then unfortunately, that's exactly where Prince Harry has found himself standing alone at the edge, left to face the consequences of a fracture that may be impossible to mend. A few days back, I was convinced there was no way he could pull it off.
This is a big deal. I mean, Americans will understand this. We have medieval times, dinner and tournament. It was like that. Like I curtsied as though I was like, pleasure to meet you, Your Majesty. Like, was that okay?
Honestly, I thought he just didn't have the smarts for it. You see, pulling off something like this isn't just about luck or timing. It requires sharp thinking, genuine courage, and a deep level of self-awareness. He's reached a point where he's brought about his own downfall, a sort of self-inflicted damage that is nothing short of reputational suicide. And trust me when I say, that's putting it as gently as I can. Now, he's stuck in this impossible situation, desperately needing to find a way out, a path to redemption. But the challenge is even more intense, because the battleground here is Birmingham, a city with a predominantly Muslim community, which adds a whole other layer of complexity and pressure. Invictus, a name that often symbolizes strength in the face of adversity, now stands at a crossroads where survival hinges on navigating an incredibly delicate landscape. This isn't just about saving face anymore. It's about saving what little remains of his credibility in a place where opinions are deeply rooted and scrutiny is fierce.
They did say, I don't want Harry back, but if I had to take him back, he would need to apologize to his family publicly, and he would have to apologize to the United Kingdom. Can you see a world where he is humble enough to do that?
No, I can't, because I think he's too stupid to do it. I think that to actually calculate, I've got to eat humble pie, I've got to admit it's been a mistake, demands intelligence, it demands courage, it demands also self-awareness.
Now, imagine stepping onto the chessboard where the Israeli military isn't just one player, it's an entire formidable team. That instantly makes things far more complicated for him. This isn't a small skirmish or a simple misunderstanding. This is setting the stage for a serious conflict, a storm brewing on the horizon. The tension isn't just palpable, it's practically electric, and the stakes couldn't be higher. Still, despite the looming friction, he's trying to play his cards strategically, holding onto something with deep emotional and public significance: the Invictus Games. The Invictus Games aren't just any event. They're a heartfelt initiative, backed by government funding, created to honor and support injured servicemen and women. It's a cause that commands respect and compassion, one that touches countless lives. He's planning to return to this stage, alongside Meghan, who's expected to use the event to elevate her own public image, her chance to shine on a respected platform. However,
He's self-slain. He's caused his own. It's a reputational suicide. Let's put it no milder than that.
Right.
And he has now got to find a way somehow to save himself.
this isn't just about goodwill or recovery. It's entangled with their ongoing struggles. Meghan and Harry's situation is largely of their own making. They find themselves at a crossroads, with no major projects in sight and no significant ventures to anchor their public presence. Their crisis isn't fueled by external forces, but rather by a series of decisions that have left them without a clear direction or purpose. As they stand in this uncertain space, the Invictus Games represents not only a beacon of hope, but also a potential battleground where personal ambition meets public expectation, and the consequences of their choices play out under the spotlight. The tension is mounting, and the question remains, can they navigate this storm without it tipping over into full-blown turmoil? With the massive fortunes at stake, the pressure on everyone involved has skyrocketed, and desperation is creeping in like never before. You can almost sense that their options are dwindling, and they're grasping at straws, trying to figure out how to reclaim relevance and power.
Because it's in Birmingham, which is a Muslim-dominated city, and Invictus has got a team from the Israeli army. So that's going to be a problem
There
for
could
him.
be a clash there you're concerned
Well,
about.
of course, there'll be more than a clash. There'll be real trouble. But of course, he's trying to leverage the Invictus Games, which the government has given money to, because after all, it's a very worthwhile cause for injured servicemen, with his own return with Meghan, who will use it to promote herself.
It seems like the only path they can imagine is making a dramatic return to Britain, attempting to carve out a place for themselves within the royal family once again. And when it comes to Meghan, there's no doubt she might be ready to accept that invitation after all. The chance to restore that status is incredibly tempting. But here's the twist. From where I stand, there's absolutely no way that William and Kate would ever open that door for Meghan. The rift between them feels permanent, something that just can't be undone, no matter how much time passes or how many public statements are made. That chapter, for all intents and purposes, is closed. And if you look at what's been unfolding lately with Prince Andrew, it's a clear signal that the Sussex family faces an even deeper challenge, one that goes beyond personal relationships and into their very survival with their royal titles. The stakes have changed, the landscape has shifted, and navigating these royal waters just got a whole lot more treacherous. So, where does that leave them now? It's a question nobody's found a solid answer for yet. I think the real challenge Harry faces runs deeper than it might seem on the surface.
If Harry ceases to be involved in the Invictus Games, all the sponsors will be back. Just imagine if Sir David Beckham was the head of the Invictus.
Oh, wow.
It'll be bigger than the World Cup. Right? Boeing, they will literally, and Airbus. All of those guys will be back.
At its core, what Harry truly struggles with is his urgent need to establish a firm place for himself within Britain, a place where he belongs and can make a meaningful impact. Time feels like it's slipping away, and he knows that if he wants to truly secure that foothold, it has to happen while his father is still around, while those old family ties and traditions remain alive. The palace has kept moving forward, adapting to new realities with surprising resilience. Responsibilities have been redistributed among the working royals, and life inside those grand walls has carried on, almost as if nothing has shifted. Meanwhile, Harry's world has changed drastically. He's found himself more of an observer than a participant. The palace, once his home and stronghold, now feels like a stage he's been asked to watch from the sidelines. This shift from insider to outsider has been a painful and complicated adjustment. Seeing the monarchy progress, make decisions, and evolve without him is a bitter pill to swallow, introducing a profound sense of loss and disconnection.
Meghan and Harry's crisis, completely of their own making, is they have no major projects, no major money earners. And so they're more desperate than ever. And I think that they don't know what to do other than to try and come back to Britain and rebuild themselves as some sort of members of the royal family.
According to Bauer, Harry's deepest fear isn't just about losing a court battle or facing public judgment. It's something far more personal and haunting. It's the fear of fading into irrelevance within the very institution that shaped him. As another troubling headline surfaces, Prince Harry faces what may be his deepest worry, the harsh realization that the monarchy has found its rhythm and strength without him. While Prince William steps confidently into his role, shaping the future of the royal family with a steady hand and clear purpose, Harry stands at a crossroads. The royal circle is evolving. Traditions are being upheld, and the spotlight seems to be turning away. Instead of being a key player writ large on the pages of royal history, Harry risks slipping into the role of an outsider.
And Meghan will accept it, but there's no way, in my view, that William and Kate are ever going to accept Meghan back. And that's finished. And I think the events with Andrew show that the Sussexes have a survival problem now with their titles. Mm-hmm. So I think that Harry's problem is that he desperately needs a foothold in Britain. He knows he's got to secure it in his father's lifetime.
An observer forced to watch monumental moments, not as a protagonist, but from the sidelines, disconnected from the legacy he once embodied. Author Robert Lacey suggests that more than anything else, this fear of marginalization haunts Harry. It's not just about titles or duties, it's about the profound desire to belong and to leave a lasting mark. No one wants to feel like history is moving on without them, especially not someone born into such a storied and public family. The question now looms large, not just for Harry, but for all of us watching. What does it truly mean to be royal in the modern age? And how should the family navigate these complex choices? This brings us to the heart of a fierce debate. Should Harry and Meghan be stripped of their royal titles? It's a question loaded with emotion, tradition, and the future of the monarchy itself. But we want to hear from you. What's your take on all this? Share your thoughts in the comments below because your perspective matters. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please remember to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more fascinating royal stories. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.